Greetings all. Tonight we're going after the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula. Now the Horsehead Nebula and the Flame Nebula both set right next to the star Alnitak. Now if you go and find Orion's belt, the three stars that go down in a row like that, that very bottom star is Alnitak. Now the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula set right there next to Alnitak. That makes them easy to find in the night sky. The Horsehead Nebula is a dark nebula, sits right there next to Alnitak. It's just 1,500 light years away from Earth. The Flame Nebula likewise sits about 1,500 light years from Earth, right next to Alnitak also, but the Flame Nebula is an emission nebula. Regardless, we're going to shoot both of these nebula in broadband to get the natural LRGB, the star colors and the natural colors we can get out of it, but it also has a very strong hydrogen signal. So we're going to shoot these targets in hydrogen with narrowband as well as the broadband shots. So we'll combine hydrogen with our broadband to boost up these nebula and see what we can come up with. Here's the rig we're using tonight for the Horsehead Nebula. You see you've got the William Optics Z103 sitting up there, riding on top of the iOptron CEM60. I've got my 4 dew heaters plugged in here. I'm going to need them because here in Central Florida at nighttime, dew falls pretty heavy. If I don't have those dew heaters up there, then it fogs up my lenses and I'm done for the night. I have 4 of them up there, and believe me, it takes all 4 of them to keep my lens clear. Moving on back, here we've got the ZWO ASI 1600mm Pro. It's a monochrome camera, so I have right here a ZWO 8-position filter wheel. I like this 8-position filter wheel because I can put all 4 of my broadband filters in there, luminance, red, green, and blue. And I can put the 3 narrowband filters in there, HAS2 and O3, and then I've got 1 slot left for a light pollution filter, which I hardly ever use because I'm way out in the country here. And then sitting right behind the filter wheel, I have a spacer here. And the reason I use that spacer is because you have to get the spacing exactly right from the glass and your fill flattener right here to the sensor on your camera. If that spacing is not right, you're going to get football stars around the corners and the edges, and your focal length is not going to be what you think it is, so you may have problems with plate solving. But anyhow, this spacer here allows me to adjust that space between the fill flattener and the camera sensor. On the front of the spacer, I've got right here the ZWO off-axis guider, and then plugged into that. Right here, my guide camera, I've got the Lodestar, the Starlight Express Lodestar X2 guide camera. That's the setup we'll be using tonight for the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula. Now the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula are going to come up right behind that tree yonder, that tall tree. You can see it right there, right in that gap between the tree. It's going to pop out. It's going to move along the sky to the south. It's going to come across like this, and it's going to cross the meridian to the south right about here, come on around, and then it's going to disappear right out behind that big tree yonder, kind of where the sun is. It's going to go down right in there is where it'll go behind the trees to me. So I'm going to have 6 or 7 at least good hours tonight to get the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula. Okay, here we set, getting ready to go on the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula. Just got polar aligned right now, so the mount of the telescope is pointed right up here at the North Celestial Pole, Polaris there. So we just got polar aligned. I'll show you what the plan for tonight is. We're going to go over to the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula, and that's the picture we're taking tonight. Let me show you how we're going to get over there. It's around here in the southeast sky. You see the constellation of Orion here, and you see Orion's belt right here. It's easy to see that in the night sky. You come to this bottom star right here, and that star is called Alnitak. And we're going to zoom in on that star, and you will see that the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula sit right there at the star Alnitak. So it's pretty easy to find. Now, what we're going to do, we'll send the telescope over here to Alnitak. We'll do a mount synchronization and a focus right here on Alnitak. Once we've got that done, we'll calibrate our guiding and then get going on the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula. So we'll get it all done right here in the same spot. Right here from the framing tab, I'm going to pull in the coordinates of Alnitak. Anyhow, Alnitak is selected under the hammer, so here we go. And there it goes, heading right over to Alnitak, just like we told it to do. And I can tell you it is going in the right direction, so that's a good sign. Alright, the telescope thinks it's on Alnitak. Now, to be honest with you, I'll be surprised if it really is. What we're going to do, we're going to go take a picture and see if it's really pointed at Alnitak or not. It's going to be a 5-second exposure, and we'll see if we're pointed at Alnitak or not. And coming up right now. Now, I don't see Alnitak in there, but that's okay, because now we're going to plate solve on over to it. So I've got sync the mount turned on, reslew the target turned on. That means it'll keep trying until it gets there. And here we go. It's going to take a picture, solve it. Okay, now it knows it's not in the right spot. It just made a quick adjustment. You heard it there. Now, after it settles, it's going to take another picture. There it goes. To see if it got it right this time. And okay, see, it didn't get it right the second time. But it's syncing, so the mount knows where it's at. It's trying to taking another picture to see if it got it right this time. And it thinks it is correct. So I'm going to put the camera on live view, and I'll be right back with you when I put the Batinov mask on. Okay, Batinov mask is on. Let's zoom in here. Now, focus, for those of you who don't know how to use a Batinov mask puts these X's across the stars like this. And this spike that comes right through the middle, when it splits that X exactly in half is when you're perfectly focused. Now you can see it's close. It's close to splitting this X in half, but it's not quite there. And I think we can tweak this and put that X that spike just a little more in the middle to achieve a slightly better focus. So I'm going to go work on that, tighten up the focus a little bit. Alright, I'm going to show you how I focus this scope here. See this little silver cap right there? That focuser is under there, so I'm just going to unscrew that silver cap. And I'm going to turn this, I'll start with clockwise, just a little bit. And now we'll go back and check. And there's a 50% chance that I turned it the wrong way. But after we check, we'll know. So let's go take a look at it. Okay, so you see here it looks like I did turn it the wrong way, so we're going to try again and go back counterclockwise this time. I'll take out what I just did and put in a little more. Okay, there it is, and you see that is split right down the middle, so this is focused. Okay, Batinov mask is off. I'm going to get off of live view. If you don't do that and the camera's in live view, when you try to plate solve, it will fail out and choke up your camera. I've done that several times, but I'm not doing it this time. Okay, we are focused, so I want to make sure that I've got the right coordinates in here for plate solving. So I'm going to go back to the framing tab. We've got file called up, and let's load the image that I took the other night. This is one of my HA images. Yes, I do want to make that the center. Alright, so there's the image. It pulled in the coordinates. It's the center of this image. So we're ready to get on over on our image and get going. We're probably close to there right now. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set up my imaging plan, and I'll be right back with you when I get that set up. We do want to start guiding when we get on target. We want to slew to the target, center the target. This is going to plate solve us on over there, and then it will start our imaging plan. And I do have dither on, so unless I have messed something up, we're ready to go. So when I hit the start button, it's going to plate solve its way on over to the Horsehead Flame Nebula. It's going to frame it up the way we wanted to. And you know what I forgot to do? Doggone it, I did not rotate the camera. So we've got to rotate the camera. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. We'll go to our imaging tab. Let's see, plate solving. We'll take a picture right where we are right now. So we're just going to take a 5-second image of where we are right now. Okay, that's the image it just took. So we're going to plate solve this image, and that is going to give us the camera rotation. So this is probably correct, 234, but we're going to plate solve just to make sure. So I really don't care about position, but let's watch the camera rotation right here. Okay, so 234. So to achieve 254, I need to rotate it 20 degrees to the right. There's Venus right over there. She's hunting. I'm not sure what, but she's sure. I'm going to show you how I'm going to rotate the camera here. And we're going to rotate the entire image train. Right there, that little set screw, I'm just going to loosen that up, and then that silver ring rotates the entire image train. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to rotate it 20 degrees. You see that my arrow there is pointed to, what's that, 54? So if I rotate that 20 degrees, I need to point the arrow then towards 74, so right over there. So let me go ahead and get that done. And notice I rotated the entire image train. So I think that's 20 degrees. So let's go back and plate solve and see if I got it right. Okay, we rotated the camera what we think is 20 degrees. So here we go with another plate solve. Now watch this camera rotation. We're looking for 254. 252. So I need to rotate it another 2 degrees, and then we will be there. So I'm going to go rotate 2 more degrees, and I'll be right back with you. So this is after another 2 degrees. Now let's plate solve this and see if I got right on 254. So here we go, plate solving. Looking at this orientation right here, looking for 254. There it is. So I'm 0.25 degrees off. I think that's about as close as I'm going to get. So I'm going to call this good. We have now matched the orientation and the position of that other picture that we took. So we're ready to get going now. Here we go. If I did everything right, as soon as I push the run button, it's going to make sure it's centered on the right spot. It's going to start the guiding, and then it's going to start taking a picture. So here we go. Okay, it reslewed to where it thinks it's already there, so it didn't really move. Now it's taking the pictures, doing the plate solve. Okay, it's starting guiding. That means it was in the right spot. So guiding is starting. It's changing the filter to the HA, and there it goes, taking the first HA picture. So we're off and running on our first HA exposure, and I will be back in 10 minutes to take a look at this first picture with you as it comes in. All right, we got a minute and 10 seconds before our first 10-minute HA comes in. All right, sped up time 25 seconds, but right before it comes in, take a look at this. This was the last 2-second plate solving image, and look at that. You can see the Flame Nebula just in that 2-second plate solve image. So I'm excited to see what this 10-minute image is going to look like. And here it comes in about 2 seconds. Let's watch it come in. First HA. There it is. How about that? How about that? Oh, you got a bonus satellite. Look at there. The Flame Nebula. I got to tell you, I'm liking this. I like what I see. Of course, here's Alnitak, the Flame Nebula right there. Here's the Horsehead Nebula. You got some pretty good clarity and some pretty good detail on there. You can see this nebulosity that comes up out of the top, or when it's bottom side up, or it's coming out of the bottom. But anyhow, I like this. This is looking good. I'm excited about this, so I can't wait to see what the rest of them look like. So there it is, the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula with the bonus satellite. Now you see the satellite trail goes all the way across the image. Now, if some of you are wondering if that is going to mess up this picture, and the answer is no, and I'll tell you why. Because when I stack a bunch of these, which I will do, they'll be dithered in between each frame. So when it stacks these stars up, this satellite trail will not be there in the rest of the frames, and the dithering and the stacking program will go ahead and remove that line. So this single satellite trail is not going to be a problem. Now, if I had a bunch of them in there, or if an airplane flies through, then that's a problem. But stacking will take this satellite trail away. So this one's going to be just fine. And we got another 50 minutes on HA, and then before we switch to luminance. So I will be back with you when the first luminance comes in. All right, here comes our first luminance in about 15 seconds. All right, sped up time. I love doing that. First luminance coming in right now. Let's watch it come in. Here it is, first luminance. How about that? How about that? That's our 5-minute luminance. You can see the flame really good here. You can see the Horsehead a little bit over here. This is broadband data. So I like this. This is going to be good. I'm happy with what I'm seeing, and I'll be back with you a little later on, and we'll take a look maybe at some of the red, green, and blue. All right, we got about a minute and 10 seconds before our first red comes in. We'll watch it come in together. Okay, I sped up time again. Only about 15 seconds left now. Did I mention that I like to do that, speed up time? Anyhow, the first red is about to come in, and I'm expecting to get a really good signal in the red. So here it comes. Let's watch it come in. There we go. That's pretty good signal. And you notice that it looks a lot like the HA did. You can see the flame really good. You can see the Horsehead really good. And that's because the frequency band that HA captures is also included in the red filter. So the same stuff that came in through the HA narrowband is also going to come in through the red filter, plus some more stuff. But anyhow, that's why we got this strong signal on the red filter. Now, I got to tell you, the green and the blue, we're going to get some stuff, especially over here in the flame and the stars. I don't expect we'll see the Horsehead at all in the green or the blue, but we will get some. We'll get some good out of the flame, and of course we'll see the stars. And I'll tell you what, unless I see something really strange on the green or the blue, something I'm not expecting, or unless something strange happens, then I will see you at the end.